Hi everybody, welcome back to another pickups video. This has been a pretty quiet week, but it was a pretty good week. Certainly, sometimes you have your eyes set on something that you're hoping to find, and sometimes you just get lucky finding it. And that was kind of one of those weeks. There were a couple of things that I was really keeping my eyes open towards, and I was trying to find games that were more complete in cases, and also finding additional game cases to put my loose games in. Certainly, sometimes you can find a really good deal, like at a pawn shop, a garage sale, where it's cartridge only or disc only. But sometimes you have a lot of heartache trying to make it more complete for display purposes, and that's kind of what I've been going through. And so looking for DS games, because right now you can still pretty much find a lot of 3DS games like at a GameStop with the cases and such, but looking at DS games can be a difficult feat. So I was looking on one of my favorite apps, OfferUp, and I found a nice deal, I thought, for the money. And so some of these games I had already, and so it's kind of more picking them up for the games I didn't have because they were a good price and they also came with the cases. So the first one is a game by Activision. Didn't really care too much for it, but hey, it was part of the pack-in deal. It's called the Trash Pack. The Gross Gang in Your Garbage. I have no idea what this game is about. I know it came out on the 3DS as well. If you've played it beforehand, please leave a comment. I'm sure I'll probably give it a few minutes, and if hopefully get a couple minutes worth of enjoyment. If not, me and my kids will like it. It looks like it's E for everyone, so usually that's targeted towards children. So we'll take a look to see. The next game is a THQ game. It's Cars Race-O-Rama. So I'm not really quite sure as far as the background on it. I mean, typically they don't try to mess up Disney properties because they don't want to burn their fans, but they know that it's a Disney property. They licensed the money for it. We all know what happened at THQ. They kind of went under and got picked up, they're scavenged by other companies and such as far as their properties. So we'll see how it goes. It's a racing game. Usually people do pretty well when it comes to racing games. This game intrigued me just because the publisher is always one that I've always been curious about what they might pick up, and just because I've never heard of this game. It's called Monster Tale. It's by Majesco. They're the publishers. I think the developer was Dream Rift. I've never heard them beforehand, but like looking at the graphics, it looked like pretty neat as far as the box art goes. It looked like something throwing back to like the 16-bit days. It looked like maybe some shooter platformer action. I thought, you know what, I'm totally for that, and so I thought let's go ahead and take a look at that because nothing like a good throwback type game, whether it's an actual throwback property from the old days or it harkens back to that. And staying on that same scenario, Namco Museum DS. This one is definitely throwback with a lot of traditional properties from Namco: Pac-Man, Galaga, Dig Dug 2, Xevious, Tower of Druaga, Mappy, Galaxian, and Pac-Man Versus. So definitely I want to give this one a try just because I enjoy these types of games in terms of playing the old school games. I'm older, so definitely this is right up my alley. And just because it's a pretty good, solid collection, especially for the handheld. Next game is one that I've seen beforehand, and I was hoping to pick it up, and thankfully it's complete, and that is Lego Star Wars, and it's the complete saga. So going through episodes 1 through 6. Now my kids have played this on the PS3, I believe, or the PS4 through its entirety. And so I was curious in seeing how this plays out and getting my kids' take on it in regards to how does this compare to playing it on the big screen. So definitely as far as there's going to be graphical, compromises because it's a Nintendo DS, but Lego Star Wars games have been around for several generations now, and typically it's Lego graphics, so typically it's not going to be something that's going to be overpowering as far as taxing on game systems. So I'm really curious to see how it turns out. One that was kind of a surprise was Mario Kart DS. And one of the neat things they told me when I was picking up the game was that there were 2 cartridges that they had. So it was definitely a good deal. Just even for the price, getting just this was good enough. I got all these other games. And last but not least was a 3DS game, Epic Mickey Power of Illusion. Now I played a little bit of this. Definitely has that old school feel. Definitely looks great. Definitely wish that they've released the PlayStation Vita version in the US. It did come out in Europe. We ended up getting the 3DS version alone in the States. So if you play the Vita version and the 3DS version, I'd love to hear and see what your thoughts are on the game. Either way, it was a great pickup for the cost. I'm totally happy and such, so definitely tell me what you think as far as my pickup goes. The only other pickup was that Galloping Ghost had a weekend sale where vendors will show up, and it's about a block or 2 from the Galloping Ghost arcade, which is like the biggest arcade, I think, in the United States. I think over 150, 160 machines. They have a brand new arcade machine that comes out every week. And so it's really neat as far as what they do there. Well, they hadn't had it for several months now, but they decided to have their swap meet. And so one of the things that's been on my eyes has been trying to find cases. And one system I've been really focusing on is trying to complete like Sega Genesis games I have, actually put them into a case. Now, it's nice to be able to find on eBay someone's selling, you know, cases without the game or has the manual and the outer box art, but it's for my own collection. I'm not trying to turn around and be a reseller and stuff, so I went to the Cover Project, printed off scans, but I ran out of cases. I had some cases lying around for games that I didn't own, didn't plan on getting, so I took off the cover art and manuals, and I had these cases, but I still have more Genesis cartridges, but not enough cases. And so there was a seller who had a big box, about like 35 or so cases. Now about 6 or 7 of them were actually Sega Genesis cases, the black ones, if you remember. The rest were like clear ones, but they are comparably in size. And the neat thing about it was on the inside they have different sizes where you can put different size cartridges. Electronic Arts Sega Genesis games, regular Sega Genesis games, Nintendo 64, I think Super Nintendo as well. So it's useful for those who want to do, like, let's say, repros and such. But for me, it's just putting the cartridges in a home, nice plastic shell, be able to print some cover art, see it nicely on a bookshelf. It's kind of like what I have behind me here. So that's kind of going to be my new project as far as fun things to do, if you can call it that, like re-inking inkjet cartridges and such. But at least it gives me something to work with. I got it for a great price, like $6. They wanted $10 or best offer. I said, I got $6 in my wallet, can you take it? And they said yes, and so I was tickled pink. So definitely you might see me next time with a bunch of ink on my fingertips. That's just me probably printing away, trying to get good sheets for my cases. Well, we'll see what happens this week. I was hoping for one more special item, which I really look forward to sharing with you. I ordered this back, it was, I think, the week right after MoGameCon. So it'll harken back to that initial video, and definitely, hopefully, arrives this week. I messaged the company to find out when I should be getting it, so we'll see. I'm going to tell you as far as my plans with the device, because I think it'll be pretty neat. I look for it. It's just a plain old gamer seeing how it does as far as what my expectations are and what I've seen in person. So I may have given some hints if you saw the first video I made. However, if you didn't, definitely keep an eye for the next video because you'll see what my pickup is. Fingers crossed. This is Kermit the Gaming Hermit, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. If you like what you saw, go ahead and click subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Take care.